So hey guys, it's Ziant again, and we're back on the battlefield with some Rush on Tala Market. I got this game while playing with the company last night on our 008 night that we have every now and again. Skulls and a few of the other guys are on the other team. Culprit and Jouettes and some of the other guys are on our team. And we go back and forth, wins and losses, and they're always really competitive games, which is the primary reason you're seeing me use the try-hard M16. I don't switch to the M4 in this game, but I do in the next couple games, I'm pretty sure. Today's video is a little quick, because not a lot of this game is worth posting, but I wanted to talk briefly about something that's been on my mind as I'm doing level design work for graduate school, and it's the idea of the God complex. As gamers, we have this conception that, especially in first-person shooters, that there's some sort of really crazy super soldier with the ability to do really awesome things, but we can't step over a 1-inch ledge. But for a lot of gamers who aren't in the military, or are too young to go into the military, who can't yet do the things that these soldiers are doing, there's this sense that we're living vicariously. We're shooting the M16 into our enemies in a game, and so we're doing it in real life. Now, you can make the argument that this teaches kids how to use guns. I would say it doesn't. But my point here is that there's a sense of disconnection that we have when we're playing these games, that we are not in fact ourselves, we are some sort of soldier with nice superhuman powers that can vault over chest-high walls with impunity and shoot bullets from their foreheads. But if you take it a step back further and go into the role of the game designer, not the player, because one of the misconceptions about game designers is that they're good at the games they play. They might be, but they also might not be very good at games in general, but they're really good at making them. And since I'm working with UDK right now, I'm having this sense that, while I probably wouldn't be very good at Unreal Tournament, given the long history of the game, I think that, at least for the tutorial I'm working on, the map is pretty good. But there's this God complex in me, because when you're working on a level, and you're not playing it, but when you're building it from the ground up, you start out with this empty void, much like God did in the Old Testament, and then you build the world yourself. And so map design is this ultimate gamer ego trip, where not only are we being the super soldier or creating a world where the super soldier is, we're doing absolutely everything in that world. We create the sun itself. We create the terrain. We can even create characters within the game. We can create virtual life. And so while we're not going around shooting other people in the face and doing all these amazing things, we're taking it a step further. And level designers have this sort of ego trip where it's just the world and the sun. Then you have the programmers who literally build the mechanics of the world. So a game design team as a whole could be considered a virtual deity, because they take an empty void with nothing, no code, no mechanics, no physics, no sound, no visuals, and they literally build an entire world in virtual space. And while I don't think this should be the immediate draw of game design, you shouldn't have this sort of complex where you want to dominate the world, it's one of the reasons I think game design is so popular nowadays, because gamers want to have that feeling of power and control. And there's the conception that gamers don't have a lot of power and control, and I know that a lot of us do, and a lot of us have the ability to do great things. But the stereotype of the nerd in his mom's basement, it stands. And whether it's true or not doesn't matter. The idea is that designing a game, and in my case designing a level, is a lot like playing God. And that's one of the things that humans have always hated doing and always wanted to do at the same time. Because everyone wants power, in some respect. Maybe it's just the power of money. Maybe it's the power over social politics. Maybe it's the power over your dog or your cat. But either way, you want power. And if that's whatever it is, and game design gives you virtual power. Because eventually, you're not only creating the world, like I've said before, you're also saying what a player can and cannot do. You are the boss of the player, not like a boss, but you are the end-all, say-all of what the player can and can't do within the game world. And when you have that much control over some other human's life, that is the ultimate power trip.